Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Jacob Fatu is seemingly at odds with his Bloodline 2.0 mates Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga after what happened on WWE SmackDown last week. Fatu was involved in a match against Braun Strowman, which the monster among all men won by disqualification after interference from Solo and Tama Tonga. The loss came at a cost for Fatu as he missed the chance to challenge LA Knight for the United States Championship next week on the blue brand. Jacob was furious at his Bloodline mates for interfering in the match without his approval, and now it appears that the Samoan werewolf might engage in a heavy argument with his Bloodline 2.0 mates, following which they can turn on him and attack him ruthlessly. With Jacob left to fend for himself, a former WWE champion can return to help him against Solo and Tama Tonga. Tonga Loa hasn't been seen since Survivor Series, War Games, and it is possible that he may return next week on SmackDown to back Jacob against Solo and Tama Tonga. The former one-half of the WWE Tag Team Champions might go after Solo Sikoa and his brother Tama Tonga for taking out Fatu. Tonga has been away from WWE since November 2024, when he got injured during the Survivor Series, War Games. The Bloodline 2.0 member reportedly tore his left biceps. He also reportedly underwent a successful surgery, but there has been no update on his return. The promotion can book him to return on the blue brand before Mania, since Bloodline 2.0 will probably split before the big event. After being attacked by Solo and Tama Tonga, Jacob would probably turn babyface, and his exit from the group means that Solo will bring in new members like Hikuleo to the faction. This is another star who has been speculated to come to the main roster for quite some time now. This would also be similar to Loa's initial run in WWE after his debut last year. The 41-year-old superstar made his debut last year at Backlash in France when he helped Solo and Tama Tonga defeat Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. However, Tonga's run has been an underwhelming one because of some serious botches he had during the TV shows. So it would be his second chance to prove his worth as a face by helping Jacob Fatu against Solo and Tama Tonga. After the recent developments on SmackDown, it's possible that Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa could go against each other at WrestleMania 41. Since Jacob angrily walked away last week, he can demand an explanation from Solo and Tama Tonga for their actions. Solo can attack him with Tama backing him, and this can lead to their face-off at Mania. It would also be the first time that Fatu will be a babyface in WWE since his debut last year. It remains to be seen who could win this war between Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa if it happens at WrestleMania 41. WWE is at its best when family rivalries explode into deeply personal and brutal battles. For years, the Bloodline has dominated WWE, evolving into one of the most powerful factions in modern wrestling. However, just when it seemed like the story was over, a new chapter has begun, one with more intrigue, betrayal, and chaos than ever before. As WrestleMania 41 approaches, all eyes are on Jacob Fatu, the newest addition to the Bloodline, and his growing tension with Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga, the self-proclaimed Bloodline 2.0. Recent events have suggested that all is not well within the group, and speculation is growing that a former WWE champion may return to help Jacob Fatu in what could be the next major war in the Samoan dynasty. But who could this returning superstar be? What would it mean for the Bloodline's future? And how could this all play out on the grandest stage of them all? Let's explore the possibilities. After Roman Reigns' shocking absence from WWE following his loss to Cody Rhodes, the Bloodline seemed to be on shaky ground. The once unbreakable faction had been torn apart from within, with Jimmy and Jey Uso both going their separate ways, leaving Solo Sikoa as the new leader. However, Solo was not content with merely maintaining the Bloodline's legacy. He wanted to reshape it in his own image. To do so, he brought in Jacob Fatu, a dominant force from the independent scene, and paired him with Tama Tonga, another powerhouse with deep ties to the Samoan wrestling family. Together, they formed what many now call Bloodline 2.0, a more ruthless and aggressive version of the original faction. But alliances in WWE are fragile, especially when egos and family history are involved. Recent weeks have seen signs of tension brewing within the group, particularly when Solo and Tama interfered in one of Jacob Fatu's matches, costing him a major opportunity. That interference may have just been the spark that ignites an all-out civil war. For those unfamiliar with Jacob Fatu, he is not someone to be taken lightly. A former MLW World Heavyweight Champion, he is one of the most feared competitors in wrestling today. His combination of raw power, agility, and ruthless aggression makes him a serious threat to anyone in WWE. Despite initially aligning himself with Solo Sikoa, Fatu's pride and desire to stand on his own have become clear. He doesn't want to be just another soldier in the Bloodline. He wants to be a king in his own right. Now, as he finds himself at odds with Solo and Tama, the question remains, who will stand with him? The idea of a former WWE champion returning to align with Jacob Fatu is one of the most exciting possibilities leading into WrestleMania 41. A major return would shake up the Bloodline storyline and elevate Jacob Fatu to the main event level instantly. But who could it be? 1. Roman Reigns, the fallen tribal chief. The most obvious and dramatic possibility would be the return of Roman Reigns. For years, Roman was the centerpiece of the Bloodline, ruling over WWE with an iron fist. His shocking loss at WrestleMania 40 sent him into exile, and since then, he has been absent from WWE. But we all know that Roman is not the type to walk away for good. If he returns, it could be to reclaim his family's legacy from Solo Sikoa, who essentially hijacked the Bloodline and turned it into his own creation. Aligning with Jacob Fatu would be a perfect way for Roman to exact revenge on Solo and re-establish himself as the true leader of the Samoan dynasty. Imagine the moment. Roman's music hits, the crowd erupts, and he stands shoulder to shoulder with Jacob Fatu, ready to take back what's his. 2. Jimmy Uso, a brother betrayed. Another strong candidate for this return is Jimmy Uso. Jimmy has been in a strange position ever since the Bloodline crumbled. He tried to win back his brother G but failed. He then attempted to realign with Solo, but was ultimately cast aside in favor of Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga. With nowhere left to turn, Jimmy might decide that his best option is to strike back against the new Bloodline alongside Jacob Fatu. After all, Jimmy knows exactly how Solo operates and may want revenge for how he was discarded. 3. Jey Uso, the right-hand man rises again. Speaking of the Usos, what about Jey Uso? Jey is currently focused on his singles career and thriving on Raw, but he has never truly severed his ties to his family. A return to SmackDown to help Jacob Fatu fight against Solo and Tama could be a full-circle moment for Jey, showing that he's still connected to his roots. If Jey aligns with Jacob, it wouldn't just be about fighting the Bloodline. It would be about taking back what was stolen from their family and setting things right. 4. Ricochet, the father figure returns. Now, here's a wildcard option. Ricochet, the WWE Hall of Famer and father of the Usos and Solo Sikoa, has remained largely quiet during the Bloodline's rise and fall. But with his sons now on opposite sides of a war, could this be the moment Ricochet returns to take control? It wouldn't be the first time WWE brought a legend back to get involved in a major storyline. Ricochet standing beside Jacob Fatu and telling Solo that he has lost his way would be an emotional and powerful moment. If WWE is planning a major Bloodline 2.0 versus Jacob Fatu storyline heading into WrestleMania, here's one way it could unfold. SmackDown before WrestleMania. Jacob Fatu officially turns against Bloodline 2.0 and declares that he is done being a pawn for Solo Sikoa. However, Solo and Tama brutally attack him, leaving him bloodied and alone. Mystery partner revealed. The following week, Jacob vows revenge and teases that he won't be fighting alone. This leads to the shocking return of a former WWE champion, Roman, Jimmy G, or Ricochet. WrestleMania 41 match. A blockbuster tag team match is set. Jacob Fatu and his returning partner versus Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga. This match could serve as the beginning of the end for Bloodline 2.0 and the potential redemption of Roman Reigns or one of his family members. The Bloodline saga has been one of WWE's greatest storylines, and the addition of Jacob Fatu has breathed new life into it. But the real excitement lies in the possibility of a former WWE champion returning to fight alongside him. Whether it's Roman reclaiming his throne, Jimmy seeking revenge, Jay making a statement, or Ricochet stepping in as the family's elder statesman, the stakes have never been higher. WrestleMania 41 could mark the moment when the Bloodline 2.0 meets its biggest challenge yet, and with a returning legend by his side, Jacob Fatu might just be the one to bring them down.